Hello, I'm Kevin Berger, author of Atheism is Untenable. There is no shortage of channels of religious individuals engaging in apologetics to defend their positions, and there is no shortage of channels of atheists using counter-apologetics to argue against them. But what about atheists' defense of their own positions? Who is holding them accountable? On this channel, I don't engage in apologetics. Instead, I apply the principles of polemics and skepticism to atheism and the claims made by atheists, of which, despite their insistence to the contrary, there are many. This is Justified Nonetheless. Greetings once again, tumbleweeds. Today we're looking at the seventh argument in my series of ontological arguments in the Omnibus. Let's get right to that. The Nonbelief is Incoherent Omnibus. Number 7. The argument from undemonstrated possibility. Premise 1. We cannot consider something as possible without some precedent, parallel, or verified phenomenon indicating the existence of such possibility. It is fallacious to argue that anything is possible, as such an argument does not exclude violations of known philosophical principles, such as the principle of non-contradiction, which necessarily entails certain preclusions. This argument that anything is possible is essentially an argument from ignorance or an argument from incredulity, both of which are logical fallacies. Premise 2. There is no precedent, parallel, or verified phenomenon indicating a genuine state of finding neither of a pair of binary propositions to be any more likely than the alternative by any degree whatsoever. As beliefs are private mental events, they are not subject to direct empirical observation, testing, and verification. Instead, all we have are fallible self-reports of individuals' subjective experience, which are prone to error due to faulty reasoning such as biases and presumed objectivity and rationality. Further, a suspension of judgment does not equate to a suspension of belief. Secondly, a suspension of judgment, as an admission that one does not know the truth value of P, substantiates only agnosticism, an epistemological position. It does not address belief, a doxastic position, at all, much less substantiate an absence of belief. Thirdly, whereas the suspension of judgment is an act of will, the suspension of belief presumes that one can choose what one does and does not believe, which is an extraordinary claim that requires extraordinary evidence. Conclusion. It cannot be considered possible to believe neither of a pair of binary propositions. The presumed absence of belief precludes the possibility of the presence of a subconsciously held belief that needn't be logical due to having been involuntarily formed by a wide variety of factors beyond evidence and reason. That includes, but is not limited to, beliefs, biases, other cognitive functions, cultural influences, emotions, personal experiences, pre-existing beliefs, and social pressures, and this preclusion is unjustified. And that's 7 arguments. We're over halfway there. We're getting ready to head down the home stretch. Until next time, remember, even if your beliefs aren't necessarily true, they may just be justified nonetheless.